Weather has significant impacts across the nation all times of year, whether you're talking about a snowstorm, blowing snow, wind, rain, fog. They all have severe impacts on both the safety and mobility of the nation's highway.
The Federal Highway Administration, in collaboration with the National Weather Service and Everyday Counts, is offering a solution in the form of the Pathfinder Initiative, which is a joint initiative designed to save lives, time, and money on our nation's roadways. Pathfinder does this by bringing together the various entities that monitor our roads for weather-related events to enhance their data collection and forecasting abilities so they can collectively provide a single, more accurate impact-based message to the traveling public.
It's really important to be able to monitor weather events and the potential impact on roads, because weather is really one of the only things that has an impact on the entire road system at one time.
We're really trying to increase public safety as much as we can, get the message out so people can make informed decisions.
Pathfinder provides actionable information to the public. It gives them the best forecast available, and it gives them a consistent forecast so they can make important safety decisions.
Basically, we're trying to come up with, what kind of unified message do we want to come out to the public based on what these impacts are that we're going to see? Is it going to strike the commute? Is it going to strike on a holiday? Is this something that maybe is going to happen overnight where it's maybe not as much of a threat? What kind of rates of snowfall are we expecting? Things like that. Just basically kind of coming up with that kind of impact-based messaging that goes out to the public.
We wanted to make sure that in terms of the travel impacts, that it's very clear to the media and to the traveling public what we're expecting travel impacts to be.
During an event, we're often sharing reports. We share road closures. If we have a major incident somewhere, we can share it with each other just to make sure that we're constantly updating our products and our information and our social media with the most up-to-date information that's out there between all the players.
The importance of having consistent messages going to the public from the DOT and the Weather Service is there's a lot of research out there that shows that people are more likely to take action if they're hearing the same message twice from two authoritative voices, such as the DOT and the Weather Service.
One thing that we find out with the traveling public is they like to look to multiple sources for weather information. And if we can get the same message on, no matter what medium they're using to get this information, if the message is saying the same thing about the storm impacts, we see the traveling public react.
If you have a message that's consistent across the board, you see a much higher level of response from the public. They're much more likely to actually change in a meaningful way.
Pathfinder helps mitigate the risk to the traveling public by pointing out which routes are going to be most impacted by a winter storm or by high winds or whatever the threat is that we're discussing. So it really helps people make a better decision about which routes to take or which time to leave.
If we can change the public's behavior to maybe not be traveling during the most intense or the most extreme portions of storms, if they can change their behavior, change their day around when the worst weather is going to strike, not only does it help them to be safer and help our system run more efficiently, but it also, it allows our crews to get out there. They can clean up the road a lot faster.
We've definitely seen benefits from the implementation of Pathfinder. For example, we had one event where the commute was shifted full 2 hours earlier than normal before snow even began to fall because the DOT and the National Weather Service were communicating the message together about the impacts on that commute.
Pathfinder maximizes the ability for agencies to provide the right information to the traveling public. It works, it makes a difference, and there is no downside to implementation.
If you're considering a Pathfinder in your state, I would say it's cheap, it's free, you can do it anytime. You can do it next week if you want. You can get it up and going very, very quickly. The sooner you do it, the more impact you're going to have on your traveling public.
To put the power of Pathfinder to work in your area, visit the Federal Highway Administration's website, where you will find information about the Weather Savvy Roads program and the Pathfinder Toolkit, which will walk you through the recommended process.